Hi everyone, and welcome back to Flipping Heck Business, Flip Learning for AQA A-Level Business Studies. So this is Unit 3, which is Decision Making to Improve Marketing Performance, video number 5C, and it's the last one that we're looking at positioning and target market, etc. So start us off. So now that we've actually looked at segmenting and we've looked at targeting, next thing we need to look at is kind of positioning. So we've segmented in the past, so we've actually broken down the market, decided where our products fall. Then we've targeted, so we've found the people that actually will buy our products. And now we've got to kind of decide, well, where do we lie compared to our competitors? So having chosen which segments to target, business need to decide how to compete in these actual segments. So market position is defined by customers. So they're the ones who actually decide on it. Think about how they view your product. So if you look at mobile games, well, how are they perceived compared to Xbox or PlayStation? Or even then, if you go further, look at Nintendo, right? So basically, it is ultimately down to how the customers perceive it. So you might look at mobile games. Well, that won't really be for serious gamers. A lot of people might say that that's just for mums. Xbox and PlayStation is for a bit more hardcore gamers, and of course then they've got their various quibbles between them. Then Nintendo is kind of seen as the not for hardcore gamers, and so really it should just be left to family and that kind of thing instead. So actual market mapping, so position mapping. It's a study of various market conditions that are plotted on a map to identify trends and corresponding variables between consumers and products. So in other words, it's looking at your product and comparing, well, okay, so what are the actual values of it? What does it correspond with regards to trends? So it's very useful for companies to be able to actually locate problem areas and figure out the source of problems by examining those variables, which we'll look at in a minute. So let's look at some of the actual dimensions that we were just talking about. So it could be that you're comparing high price product to low price, and then also with that, is it high quality or basic quality? So you could actually compare those two and sort of find out where you would fall in the quadrants. Again, you've got high volume, luxury, heavy or light goods. Is it complex or is it simple? Is it healthy, unhealthy, high tech, low tech? Right, these are all variables, and there are certainly a lot more that you could be looking at and saying, right, okay, so if I look at particularly, say, is it a luxury or necessity product? And then also, is it healthy or unhealthy? Then we might be looking at different various foods and saying, right, well, is it something that we really, really need, or is it something we want? So I mean, if we put chocolate in there, then if it's a luxury product, well, is it going to be healthy as well? That's something that needs to be sort of gauged before a company can decide, well, where do we fall compared to our competitors? So here's an example. It's probably easiest to actually look at an example. Now, most of them are usually done quality to price, but if we look here, then at the low end of quality and the slightly cheaper end of price, we've got things like Kinder Surprise, which is very true. I mean, Kinder, I do like Kinder, but it's not the best quality of chocolate. And then low price but slightly better is things like chocolate orange. So the price is a little bit above average, but again, the quality of chocolate isn't that great. However, if you look at people like Black's chocolate or Thornton's chocolate, they're going to be high quality and they tend to be quite high price as well. I mean, if you look at Dairy Milk or Galaxy again, it's up to your sort of tastes, but generally Galaxy would fall at a sort of mid-range quality, but it's actually quite cheap to buy. Twix, again, maybe just a little above mid-range. I mean, that's your personal opinion, maybe. Then, but the price is actually still quite low. And so have a think about it. Where would you put things like Snickers bar? Where would you put things like Lion bar, Toffee crisp? I mean, they all fall into this, and then you've got to decide, well, where is those that gap? And in this case, you can see that actually there's quite a gap for a high quality but low price chocolate. So maybe Lindt might come along with something like that. Or you could go, right, well, actually, is there a thought process as to how could we get one of our lower quality products be selling at a higher price? What extra can we add to it? And of course, Kinder have kind of got that, because even though they are a lower quality chocolate, they have an extra added bonus of a of an extra like prize inside. And well, think about it. I mean, like that tends to be why a lot of people will buy the product itself. But you have got to be careful. So advantages is that it helps to like spot those gaps in the market. That's great. You can actually look and go, right, well, what could be filled here? And it's really good for analyzing your competitors as well. So actually going, right, okay, well, what are they doing? What are they actually like paying attention to? Are they adding something extra? Is there something we could copy? And of course, it also encourages the use of market research. Whereas the disadvantages is that, I mean, like just because there is a gap doesn't mean that there is demand. Like a high-priced, low-quality chocolate is probably not going to be something that people actually want to buy. But there is that gap. Do you want to fill it? We would like to, but it's not going to necessarily happen. It's no guarantee of success. Just because you've like labeled everyone doesn't mean that like you suddenly going, right, haha, eureka, we've got this brilliant idea. We're going to do a high quality chocolate at a low price. Well, you've still got all sorts of other variables to actually pull into that. I mean, like how much is the cost per unit? Where are you going to get the actual marketing for this? Can you afford to actually do something like that? Or are you going to be a loss leader? And I mean, like then how reliable is that market research as well? Are you actually able to use it effectively? So when we're thinking about positioning, we're thinking usually about competitive advantage. So customers choose the product based on the value proposition, right? So in other words, why are they choosing it? Why are they looking at it and going, right, okay, well, we're choosing this particular product over this product. They might be very similar, but not everybody's going just for price. So providing superior value than the competition is a source of competitive advantage if it can be sustained. But it's not always going to be that you're going to be able to produce the cheapest product. So there are various possible value differences which can deliver competitive advantage. Right? Now these are possible positioning strategies. Right? So think about it this way. So we could offer more for less. So we've got companies like Aldi who actually offer quite good quality, but at very, very low prices. They could offer more for more. So luxury products, think like Rolls-Royce, if you want to go to the extreme, where, you know, you would come along and expect to actually pay quite a lot of money, but what do you get? I mean, like you get a luxury car that is not going to break down with all sorts of added extras that you wouldn't get at a lower price car. They could offer more for the same, so new features, better performance for the same price. A lot of phone companies do something similar to this. Or you could offer less for much less. So I mean, like this could be like no frills, low cost flying and hotels. So think like Ryanair or anyone like that. It could be that it's, you know, all right quality, but you're going back to basics with low price. So again, think like some of the smart price products as well. So product differentiation. Now, product differentiation is basically when a customer perceives a distinct difference between your product and the alternatives provided. So in other words, what makes your product stand out and actually, like, you know, makes customers keep coming back to you. So usually this can be sort of looked at in positioning versus, say, competition. So, you know, it is a source of competitive advantage. Like, what do you do that's extra? Ideally, it's hard to copy as well. So like it could be your customer service is absolutely flawless and it's very difficult for another company to be able to come along and copy it. Protect and build a brand. So think about like building like intangible value, getting a name for yourself, strengthen your customer loyalty. Again, why do people keep coming back to you? Well, what are you adding to your brand? Why do people keep buying iPhones when they are clearly not the best phone out there? But yet people love it and they just keep coming back because it's best to be seen with an iPhone. And also you could think about it like of adding more value. So, you know, it should allow you to actually put out a higher price. You can add value to your goods, to your services, just because people understand and people are going to buy your product. So that, of course, then leads to higher profit margins. You're going to be more successful. Why do people keep using Microsoft? Why do people keep using Amazon? Because they built the brand, they built good customer service, they've got their unique selling points, and now they can start charging more prices, which they tend to do. So, I mean, like I said, it's by offering a unique selling point. So, a USP is something that sets a product apart from its competitors in the eyes of customers. So it could be both new and existing. So think about like source of competitive advantage. It helps to make demand. It should lead to higher profits. And like, what does your company do that is different? So in order for a company to actually like differentiate effectively, they've got to be able to like sort of match a few things. So they need to be able to deliver to customers what is important to them. So give them their actual needs. Everything that they are requiring, they can have. Make it distinctive. So what sets you out from other competitors? Why do people go for PlayStation 4 instead of Xbox? Why do people go for PCs instead of consoles? I mean, like, there's so much out there that they need to actually separate from everyone else, that you need to make sure that you are not just being lost in the trample of competition. So is it communicated and visible? Do people know about it? I mean, like, we have this fantastic idea for a flying car, but we haven't advertised any of it. We've not given it like the ideas to anyone. Is it still effective? Is it not easily copied? So if I produced a product and gave away, say, free t-shirts with our logo on, well, that's pretty easy for competitors to actually copy as well. So, are they just going to copy us and then it becomes pretty standard to give away a free t-shirt with a particular product? Is it affordable? And is it profitable? Are you going to make money from it? Are people going to buy it because they can afford it? Or are you going to make money in the long run? So a couple of examples here. You might find it easier once we've got these examples. So like Fairy Liquid, they have a 60% market share in the UK. So more than half of all washing up liquid is Fairy. And why? Because it is a trusted household brand. It's been around for 120 years. And their key points of differentiation is that, it lasts longer. They have different various types out, but ultimately they're trying to say to you, well, you only need to use a little bit. So our product is able to last longer than the competition. We are a better deal. Premier Inn, so UK's largest hotels business, owned by Whitbread. And theirs is that it's a great night's sleep, guaranteed. So their product differentiation is that they are guaranteeing that you will have a good, solid night. That could be the case. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But most people who use Premier Inn understand that, might not be a high quality hotel, but it is comfortable, certainly for the price. And then people like Waitrose and John Lewis. So both of them in the top 10 for customer satisfaction, right? So in other words, people are happy with it. They are the partnership. They work together and people love to go to them and they love to actually be seen buying in them because it comes with a little bit of prestige as well. Right, okay, well, thank you very much for watching. So if you like this video, please make sure that you leave a comment and below and give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe. Video 6 will be following very, very shortly. Thank you very much.